Good morning, everyone. It is March the 22nd. This is V-Day 22, 2018. I've got a lot of geoengineering going. That plane just turned on its sprayers over there. There's another one going on over there. Not a big aerosol spraying day. I had a lot more in the air this morning. I didn't take any photos of it. Today I want to talk about a video that I saw of a little American Indian girl. I shared it on Facebook. And she goes in front of the Congress. Of course, they're always using children, right? And she says that they believe that the water is living. Okay. Guys, I've been saying this for over 8 years. Earth, water, the two feminine substances on the earth, right? It's alive. The tree has water, and it's got dirt, and it grows. See it? It's alive. The tree's alive. Everything around you is alive. Everything has a frequency. Everything vibrates. Everything has moving protons, electrons, and neutrons. A molecular structure. Everything's living. Everything has a DNA signature. It's all a mathematical matrix. It's all got a calculation, just like you. It's all living. It all has different purposes. This thing is taking out carbon monoxide out of the air, pumping out oxygen. The plankton in the ocean and the water is doing the same thing, creates all the oxygen for us to breathe. It's living. It even has a circle of life. And what's happening is Satan's minions, which is nothing but the elite banksters, are disturbing that force. We're all Jedi Knights in this fight. If you don't see yourself connected to earth, water, air, which would be the masculine, and the fire, and that creates the ether, which is our awakening. A lot of us have discovered the ether because they're in love with their earth, air, water, fire. And they're forgiving. They know that when they talk about MS-13 and they talk about Antifa and all this stuff, they know that all of these people are under mind control. We know this stuff. And that they're being manipulated, we're being manipulated to divide, to hate, to fear, to live in fear. But the main thing is to not be a coward, to have the Wizard of the Oz, to have the courage of the lion, right? To avoid the Tin Man, which is your robotic cell phones, the towers of Babel, these lakes of fire, right? So what did man do? He took away the natural fire and he put in the microwave, the radio fire, right? Which will kill us. God said, this is the fire that you can have within your visible light spectrum. That's if you take a match and you strike some wood. That's your natural frequency fire. It's okay for you to dabble in that visible light spectrum. But when you eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil and you go below the visible light spectrum, see, we're only supposed to live in the visible light spectrum. If we try to go to hell with microwaves and radio waves, which is hell, or they try to go to X-rays and gamma rays, which is the higher frequencies. We're not supposed to dabble in that. We wouldn't need X-rays and all this stuff if we would just eat God's food. We wouldn't have to have that. You would never need a doctor. You would just have a shaman that would say, hey, if you got cancer or whatever, we'd put you on a natural, holistic diet, and then the cancer disappears. If you got a root canal or a toothache, we put you on a holistic diet and the toothache goes away. We know that food heals everything. The colors of the food are all the frequencies of the different vibrations, and each one of them has a different healing agenda. That's a terrible word, not agenda. Healing plan, right? Now, this little girl was saying, I came from my mother's womb and I was born into water like a fish or whatever. She didn't say the fish, but... And she believes that she was breathing water. And all of a sudden she started breathing air, right? And we know that the ancients worshiped Dagon and all these fish gods, right? Because we were fishes. We were fishes in the womb. We were breathing water. And all of a sudden we started breathing air. So we went from the female. Listen to me. This is where the twin towers and duality goes in. We went from the female water. Remember, water and earth is female energies. Right? And then we went into the air, which is the masculine. And here we are. And we allow rich cocksuckers to destroy what's living. The air is living. The water is living. The fire is living. And so is the ether and the earth, air. It's all alive. Stop. Mimi, hey. Every time she hears the neighbor, she hit my dang knee. Gosh dang it. Anyway, so we've got to, we spiritual people are connected to these forces. We're Jedi Knights, we're connected to the Force. We feel a disturbance in the Force because we know that Satan's minions are destroying our earth, air, fire, and water, right? And our ether. Of course, our ether. That's our spiritual connection to the Force. Because when you're in love with the earth and the water and the fire that God gave us, all the natural fire laws, and then the air, you become an etheric being, right? And you are no longer the physical. You're etheric. You're spiritual. And we're the ones that go, wait a minute. You're disturbing the natural circle of life of Earth. These minions want to kill all these billions of people so they can start over with AI 5G. That's the real goal, guys, of all of this stuff. They want 5G and they want to kill everybody. And what are we doing? We're trying to stop this stuff, guys. We have to fight for the two female energies, earth and water. And then our natural fire within the visible light spectrum. That's the only fire that we are allowed. And that's when you take a match and light a log. Okay, it keeps us warm. God gave us everything that we need. And then the air, which is also masculine. Okay? And their job is to divide us, right? To make the masculine the physical the masculine. So when you come from the mother's womb, you go from water, you go to air, which is the physical. And then the job is to go back to the water. The firmament above and the firmament below is water above, water below. All right? So that is where I always talk about the female divine. The right brain. The war on Isis. Hercules, hero. All these words. And Mary, which is the moon. And Mary Magdalene, magnetic. Mary is the earth and Mary magnetic is the moon. Jesus, the sun god, the son of God, there it is right there, that walks on water. When the sun sets, it walks on water, is, traveling with earth and the moon. He's on a journey. And of course, Adam is the atomic, the masculine, there it is right there, and Eve is the feminine. So Eve would be not only earth and moon, but Eve would also be water and soil, the dirt. How come you don't fight for your Jesus? They're destroying the air and they're destroying fire. They're replacing the natural fire with microwave and radio fire. And it's going to kill you. It's killing you. It's slowly killing you. It's barbecuing the brains of our children. They've been in a world that from the day of their birth, they've been microwaved. And the human brain is so thin when they're babies that they don't have the intelligence that we had as a kid. They didn't have that natural law. The microwaves has put them in hell. That's why you say hello and there's a bite out of the apple. So Eve biting the apple is the tree of life, which is the visible light spectrum, to the gamma rays all the way to the microwaves. That's the tree of life. And the wave is the serpent. And right now, you can't see them with your eyes, but the microwaves are traveling. And you're going to bite from that knowledge, that tree of knowledge, right? That's why there's a bite out of the apple on your cell phone. So right now, the fake media is telling you to bite from this apple. Apple is selling their cloud, their database to China. It's a dictator society, and they're saying, here, bite the apple of Satan. I mean, it's happening today. You're destroying Eve. Eve will surely die, and so will Adam. The earth and the water and the air and the fire is dying. Okay? they've destroyed the natural cycles of the weather patterns of the earth. We no longer have these little beautiful puffy clouds from water vapor, natural water vapor. We got these chemicals floating through the air. But what's disturbing is that you're not connected to these forces. You're not. Somehow you've disconnected from obey your father and your mother. Mother would be earth, moon, Venus, passion, and water. And the father would be the sun, the air, and the fire. Man has, passion is a double-edged sword. Passion has fire, which is masculine, and passion of the feminine. Okay? So that's that duality. There's duality in everything. But somehow, you're so busy with your jobs, watching TV, you're biting from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and you actually believe what these people are telling you. And none of it is reality. None of it. Zeke, it's not reality. Reality is that you should have passion for the love of the masculine, feminine energies of this earth. And when you see it being destroyed, you should shout with your loudest voice at the highest octave. Do not tread on my earth, my water, my fire, my air, my sun and my moon. Do not tread on my God. And do not try to replace God with 5G, which is 57, which is the same as the moon. So they're trying to take the place of the moon, the electromagnetic field. Right? And they're doing everything dirty that they can to take away your divinity and your love for your surroundings. Us truthers are in the fight to the end. You can see these airplanes whenever I do uploads or I do videos, they fly over. They're the phone hackers. There he is right there. So I gotta go and disconnect because there's a directed energy beam trying to steal the data off of my phone.